Hello, my name is Estella Ward, and today I will be doing a book review on the classic How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This book was originally published in 1936 and has sold over 30 million copies worldwide. Here you can see me holding a copy of the book that was handed down from my dad. The main topic of this book is to educate people on how to socialize, persuade, and lead more effectively to ultimately achieve their goals and desires. It breaks this concept down into 4 digestible parts. The first being the fundamental techniques in handling people. The second being 6 ways to make people like you. The third, how to win people into your way of thinking. And the fourth, titled, Be a Leader. How to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. Typically, business books are daunting and use a lot of loaded language and elaborate metaphors and scenarios. But this book uses colloquial terms and everyday scenarios of his family members and friends, alongside world leaders to illustrate these fundamental concepts. Thus, this book isn't just a business classic, but a book of life skills on the breakdown of effective communication and socialization. This book is very important for business students who will go on to work in managerial positions because it gives them practical tips on how to develop a people-orientated mindset. This mindset will ultimately set them up to become strong leaders in their chosen fields. A leader or manager who is empathetic, a listener, a persuader, an enthusiast, and who is strategic with all their decisions, that being interpersonal or quantitative. The first lesson of the book is make the other person feel like they are important when in conversation. This could be through repeating their name and repeating what they say. According to Carnegie, someone's name is the sweetest, most important sound in any language. Secondly, to show active listening. And thirdly, by asking questions. Before I read this book, I would have conversations with people and be constantly thinking of what I will be saying next, instead of actually listening, as I was worried about what I had to say. However, this book taught me to practice active listening by showing assertive body language and by repeating their name to show that you are interested. This makes the person you feel talking to feel respected and important. This in turn helps you build established connections and relationships with your peers, and in turn will help you benefit socially and professionally. The second lesson of this book is from Part 2, Principle 8. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Take time to understand other people's perspectives. Essentially, by having empathy, you'll be able to see their interests and how the other person sees the world. In turn, you'll be able to frame the conversation in a way that makes them be like, hey, that's exactly what I was thinking. If you know me, you know that I love to talk, and talk some more. It's because I love my life and I usually talk through my perspective. However, this book taught me, as an organisational behaviour student and a future manager, to frame the conversation in a way based on how the other person is feeling, as they are more likely to agree with you and in turn trust you. The third lesson from this book is always admit when you are wrong. By admitting when you are wrong, you are showing vulnerability to the other person. This allows you to connect on a deeper level and also shows how you are not perfect and that it is okay to make mistakes and that you are strong. In a managerial position or just being a leader in general, this is very important as it shows to your employees that making mistakes is normal, but humility is also extremely important. I'm definitely a perfectionist and do not like to show my flaws to others, but Carnegie has taught me that by telling people when I make a mistake, that people will still find me credible. As much as this book is fantastic, there are a few criticisms I would like to make. Firstly, there is a slight manipulative tone to this book. It invites its readers to sometimes act in a devious way to achieve something, or make people like them to get ahead. A key example of this is all the principles surrounding empathy connection. These ideas are rooted in the goal to make people like you instead of leading a fulfilled life with greater understanding of those around you. So a suggestion I would make is to reframe these principles to build real genuine empathy to better understand and support others instead of just receiving the best outcome for you. This book was published in 1936. Some of the examples and people a lot of readers like myself may not even understand. So a suggestion is to potentially print a new revised edition of the book with more managerial examples using technology and modern figures. One suggestion that organizational behavior students should take away from this book is to dramatize your ideas. Carnegie suggests using vivid imagery and storytelling, which can help make your ideas more memorable and persuasive. This can be helpful in the workplace and socially to help keep people captivated when conversing with you. The second piece of advice for organizational behavior students is let the other person do a great deal of the talking. Carnegie believes that people are more likely to be persuaded if they feel heard and understood. The third piece of advice for organizational behavior students is to ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Carnegie suggests that asking questions can help create buy-in and encourage others to take ownership of their work. Overall, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a great book for all organizational behavior students who are looking to become managers. Managers who will be empathetic, conversationalists, networkers, persuaders, enthusiasts, listeners, strong and caring. Thank you.
Created using Powtoon.